All right, we're recording.
Okay, so you named. First of all, for the audience, Demasi and I don't know what we're talking about usually. He has a list of things, but you named your recording, and I heard you do that. Are you naming that in Reaper or Audio Hijack?
That was in Clean Feed.
Oh. I have been playing with making spots lately, radio station spots, because I've been playing with Clean Feed. Nope, not Clean Feed, Live 365 scheduling tools. And it's been an interesting experience. I want to give Live 365 credit, and we endeavor to email them our podcast episodes, well, them being people we talk about. And I don't think either one of us are consistent about that. But I'd like to give Live 365 a heck of a lot of props, because I think it was Wednesday night. I was going through Live 365. There were a lot of unlabeled one buttons, and unlabeled one buttons did different things depending on the context of where you were in the interface. There also weren't headings in strategic places. I'm sure there's some guidelines around it that I'm not familiar with, but there was headings in one place on the page. And I said, it would be nice if there was headings above the actual actionable content on the website, and a few other things. And it looks like Thursday morning when I logged in, things looked super different. And I'm like, wait, what happened here? But the positiveness is now, you know, when you're adding a track, you can read the actual clock now with events. And it was just night and day when it came to accessibility. So
Cool.
Super excited about that. I don't think their scheduling tools are going to fit the needs that I have. It'll do it, but it's a hacked together way of doing it. So I think I'm going to have to explore something else, but it's awesome that they appeared and came out and said, hey, we'll get these fixed, and they fixed them. So
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I just today sent an email to the team over at Bookshop. Some listeners might remember me talking about bookshop.org. It is a way to purchase. They now have ebooks. So I don't think maybe I didn't talk about them before. I talked about Libro FM, which also supports your local bookshop, bookstores, or you can pick a bookstore. I'm not going to say it has to be local. But it helps support bookstores with your audiobook purchases for Libro FM. So I have talked about that in the past. And, you know, I have quite the spread that that Audible has, but they're getting there. They don't do podcasts and all that extra stuff that Audible is doing. Well, people may remember me talking about them when I was super upset at Amazon. I'm still super upset at Amazon. It's just kind of hard to really get completely away from Amazon. So we strive.
And I think your credits don't expire with them too, right?
Your credits do not expire with Libro FM.
Yeah.
So they're there as long as you have them, as opposed to the 12-month, or I guess if you bought, you're 12 months in either way with Amazon, right? So yeah, you will lose your credits if you don't use them within the year, which is madness. I tell you, I don't get it. But Bookshop, which is the means by which your audiobook purchases for Libro, also exists. Now, Bookshop, I didn't probably talk about them before very much, because at the time they were only doing physical books, so paperback, hardback cover. Like, I have absolutely no use for that. But they now have ebooks, so you can buy an ebook, and part of that purchase will go to support your chosen bookstore, which is cool. They're not all DRM free, which is what my actual email was about, because I bought Cory Doctorow's book, which is DRM free. The Enshittification. I don't know if Mike's want to beep that or not, but hold on, what is it called?
Well, it's the name of a book. I think it's fair.
I mean, it's the name of a book. Let's see if they give me the full.
If you find the link, maybe the bot will tweet it out.
Nope, it does
Post it out. See, now I'm saying tweet it out.
So anyway, I bought this book. It's the enshittification of the web. Something about how big tech made things worse. But basically, like, I haven't read the book yet, but essentially what that book is about is just kind of that thing that we have noticed happening over the past few years, where I'm going to pick on Slack right now because it just recently came up in a conversation. Let's say Slack started out and they were like, oh, we're going to fix all the problems with email. We're going to make you not have to be in email. And Slack was cool when it first came out, and it was simple. And generally, if they didn't keep screwing with it too much, it was very accessible and usable. Mm-hmm. And then over time, they started doing weird stuff because they were trying to maximize their profits. So they started taking away things that used to be free and wanting you to pay and putting the squeeze on you. Essentially what enshittification is and I didn't even mean to go down this rabbit hole, but my understanding of it is essentially is where a business comes in and everything is great because they're focused on the customer, and then they reach the maximum growth that they're going to see with their customers. So then they start going after corporate. So things get worse for us basic customers, personal customers, because they're going after corporate. So they start doing weird stuff because they're targeting corporate. And then once they have gotten all the corporate customers that they think they can possibly get, and they've maximized the growth there, then they just start cutting corners to maximize the bottom line so that they see more and more profits. And they don't at that point care about the customer or their corporate clients or anything else except getting profits out of the company. And that story is played out over and over again. Throughout history, I would say, with tech companies. I am very hopeful, yet also terrified that I'm going to be, my hope is pointless, that 1Password won't turn into this company. They've already jumped over to the corporate side where they're very much more corporate focused than personal user focused. But they've also kind of put this squeeze on the market to where there's not a whole lot of good options out there either. I'm not saying they necessarily put the squeeze on the market, but for me, for over 10 years, they've been the best password manager, hands down. But at any rate, going back to the bookshop deal. So I bought this book. It was DRM free. I bought a couple of other books and just hadn't read them. You know, you do that thing sometimes where, like, you buy a book because you're listening to a podcast and somebody mentions the book. You're, oh, let me go get it now before I forget about the book even existing. And then, so I bought another book recently, last week so as we're recording, as listeners are hearing this, it would be 2 weeks ago. So 2 Wednesdays ago on Intelligent Machines, they had Dr. Anthony, I don't remember his last name, but anyway, used to be an intelligence officer. He wrote a book about the fourth revolution of the fourth intelligence revolution is the name of the book. And he's talking about how, like, the landscape of intelligence gathering it has and is changing, you know, now with the advent of things like AI and drones, etc. And seemed to be a fascinating topic. But at any rate, this book, the Fourth Intelligence Revolution, is not a DRM ebook, DRM free ebook. Now, honestly, I hadn't noticed that the other couple of books I bought were not DRM free because I just purchased them and it was like, I'll go back and download them later or whatever. What actually brought this to my attention was listening to Decoder and Nilai's interview with the CEO of Bookshop. And he pointed out this fact that I was like, wait, what? So I'll go and look and I'm like, oh crap. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll download your app because, like, I don't really want to do something different. And, like, a couple of those books are bought several months ago. The one I just bought, I probably could have got a refund for reasonably. I probably could have got a refund for all of them that were DRM free, reasonably saying, like, it's not like I read the book and then, you know, decide I want my money back or something because I couldn't read the book because their app was not accessible. So I downloaded the app so I could read the book, and it's like, oh man, you know, you open up some of these apps and, like, Voiceover just does nothing. It's like, yeah, I'm not even trying to attempt to navigate anything. Got one of those. You flick enough times and you end up in the status bar. Like, it's just like, you know what?
In the dynamic island sometimes. And then you at least my next step is to close it out of App Switcher, thinking maybe it didn't fully load. So I'll close it out of App Switcher and reopen it again. And then I get the same experience. Sometimes I'll try screen recognition. Other times I'll just close the app. I need to get more into the habit of deleting them, but.
So I did all of those things, including restarting my phone to just like, okay, maybe there's some weird stuff going on with my phone because who knows. And I open up the app, still nothing. Screen recognition got me to a point where I was able to sign in with my account and kind of locate, like get to the library button and like see my books, but I couldn't open a book for some reason. And that's with screen recognition on it. Screen recognition isn't always great because it sometimes does weird stuff to the way the app like behaves. So like, I don't want to have to rely on this to read a book that I paid for. So when I clicked on their accessibility statement at the bottom of their website, I was like, oh, okay, they got one of these. Let's see what they say. Oh, okay, that's very nice. And yeah, their site's reasonably accessible. Let me send an email to their accessibility address and explain the situation to them. Like, listen, I'm not even wanting a refund at this point because I kind of don't want to have to go back to buying all my books in Kindle, where it's not strictly required. I have bought a few Kindle books over the past months or so because that's the only place the book was available. I was like, I would just like the app to be fixed. I know you're a small team, so I don't expect you, instant change, but just, I would request prioritizing this sooner rather than later. Mm-hmm. We'll see what happens. I just sent the email today, so I have no idea what's happening. Oh. It's a Saturday.
Yeah, it's a Saturday. You haven't got a bounce back though yet, right? No, because I've heard of people sending emails to the accessibility teams and getting bounce back. So,
that would be all. That's the worst. It's like, okay, well, I guess we're done here, huh?
Right? Yeah. Do you want to fight that battle? And sometimes just give someone else the information so they can fight the battle. I feel bad for saying that, but sometimes you got to get your work done or get done what you're trying to get done.
Yeah, man.
I've been playing with Scribe, and I don't want to talk much about it unless you're interested in hearing more, because Mike did pay me to record that demo. Did I ever send you the demo?
No.
Okay. I will send you the final demo. Because that
I'm curious
has potential, but you have to get the book out of the app.
Say it again.
That could potentially help make an inaccessible scanned book accessible. Not potentially, it would help make that happen, but you'd have to get the book out of the app. And because it's DRM protected, you can't really get them out of the app. Can you download the files to your computer?
No. They do have an online book reader, which actually, funnily enough, is kind of accessible. It's just annoying because you got to keep flicking and whatnot and all of that to read the book. So that is accessible. And it could be like, it's my first time trying to use the app, so it could, be that like it was accessible at some point, like just, they broke it. I don't know. But I expect it'll be resolved. That is kind of my expectation from reading their accessibility statement. Although, funnily enough, their accessibility statement is embedded in a frame on the page that you have to find. It's not just so. I don't know.
So are they sourcing it from someone?
Right. Like we'll see how that goes. Honestly, but push come to shove, like I'll just get a free. I'll request a refund. If not, I just won't buy ebooks through them anymore, unless I know for certain they're DRM free. Because now I know to look for that. But what cool idea.
The DRM free books in, or do they just open in books? How do you read the DRM free, the books that you don't have to be in their app? How do you normally read those?
Yeah, download it and then put it somewhere. Put it in VoiceStream Reader or.
I didn't know if you were still using VoiceStream. I am not.
Yeah, I gotta try 11 Labs, but I haven't tried it out yet, and I don't know if they support importing those ebooks or not, or throw it on the e-reader or the Brilliant and read it that way.
Oh, okay. What format are they in?
EPUB.
Huh. Now I'm going to have to go look up the format that the new digital talking book player supports to see if it supports EPUB.
I think if I'm not mistaken, I think the synth player also supports EPUB, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, because personally I find it a little too slow for me. Like it just takes forever to do stuff, and it's overly complicated. I think there's too many buried options with a press this button to do this, but then in this context you can press and hold this button to get these options. But if you're not in that context and pressing and holding does something entirely different, it's like, yeah.
Oh, the sense player?
Yeah.
I recall having similar thoughts. I didn't know how to express them. But the thing is you've used a Victor more than I think I have. And don't you have to remember that type of interface for Victor as well, or is it simpler?
So I can't speak about the latest version of the Victor because I haven't used one, but the Victor Stream, well, this would have been the first or second generation. I don't remember. It was the first one. Well, it was the first one that was like the standalone little player where you had the SD cards for it. Whichever one that was, it was actually fairly simple. I mean, there was navigation stuff you needed to remember, like which keys went which way, but it actually made sense. To go up and down, for example, you use 2 and 8. And to go in or out of something like left to right, you would use 4 and 6. So after that, it was just basically navigating menus. There was a lot of in and out of menus, but once you basically had it configured the way you want it configured, navigating to your books and stuff was pretty straightforward. So less convoluted of a process. But I don't know about the current models because I haven't used those. And the model I had was the first one of those. So it didn't even support Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or any of that sort of stuff.
Okay, so
while Mike is looking up something, I am going to give him some more stuff to, well, he's going to have to bleep this because I'm going to tell everybody that Mike is a genius.
Oh no, what did I do this time?
We were talking last week's show and you mentioned, we were talking about like uses of AI and then using Ira's, whatever it's called, and you were like, oh, you did not use Be My AI. And I was like, I kind of forgot it was a thing. So I loaded up this week when I'm out here doing some stuff. And because I was like, I got to try this the next time I'm in a scenario like, counting money or something like that. I need to reach the screen of the bill counter or whatnot. So I loaded up this time and huge game changer. Just like it is on my home screen now because of two things. Actually, one primary thing, because I don't remember what the second thing was. It just kind of felt different. But the first thing is like, hey, I just pointed the camera and took a picture and it just started. I didn't have to ask it a question. I can ask more questions if I want more questions, but it gave me all of the information I needed very quickly, like kind of up front of the whole response back from taking the picture. So it wasn't take a picture, ask the question, and then, get back the answer. And, oh, well, maybe I need to move the camera a bit because it says it was blurry. Nope. Take a picture and almost instantly, like it's not instant. And I know it's not instantaneous, but very, very quickly is back with an answer and was giving me the information that I needed about, those specific screens at that point in time. So yeah, I was like, man, this is awesome. Like, why did I forget that this was a thing?
I think you should also think about how you can use Be My Eyes repeatedly, like if you're scanning for something and stuff like that, because Be My Eyes has shortcut support. So you could send and receive information from, I think it has shortcut support. It should.
No, it does.
It does? Okay.
Yeah, because one of the suggestions is like you can get to that by saying, I forget what it said, but I'm gonna make up what it said, but it said something like this, like you can get to Be My AI by using Siri by saying, hey, hey S,
Be My Eyes.
recognize quickly or something like that. It would jump you right to
okay.
it. So it definitely has to have shortcut support if you can do that.
Yeah. So there could be some automated ways to using it, like tracking that information in I need to think more outside the box. But you're welcome. I'm glad to know that it's working well for you, because I forget about it. And then when I do jump into Be My Eyes sometimes, I hit the volume key, and I always forget that the volume key will take a picture.
Yep.
You can disable that in settings, but
yep, you can, because I hit the button because that's one of my ways to take a picture without having to tap the screen, which sometimes jiggles, to me, at least in my mind. Maybe it does or doesn't matter, but in my mind, it's like I just kind of jiggled the camera a little bit, so like it's going to screw up my photo. So I generally will use the volume up key in those types of situations.
So I've been working with ChatGPT to build a prototype of Builder in the Cloud on the Mac. No, on the Windows computer. And I'm doing things with Populate Anything and other things that I'm like, how are we doing? Hold on, let's go back and review that. And I think that's one of the things I like about learning from AI is if it tells you to go do something, you go do that something, you're like, this should work. I understand what it's telling me to do. You go do that thing, and then it actually works. And you're like, wait, how did we do that? Let's go back and review that. At least that's the way that I seem to find myself working. And then the next time that we go through and do it, I'm like, okay, it's walking me step by step through it. And then I'm like, okay, I've done these next 3 steps because I remembered what we did last time.
Yeah, that's what I found useful. One of the useful things about the different tools is that I'm able to learn as I'm going through a process of doing something, or, sometimes even just looking at the thinking process, like depending on the model you're using, it'll show you like you don't have to turn it on. It's just sitting there and it's like, oh, well, the user asked for this, and then I need to tell the user this. But what I first need to do is they'll do blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh, so that's how I could do that. Without having to open you if I didn't want to pay you $20 a month anymore. Oh, okay. I have now learned.
But you know what? You're still going to get $20 a month from me, probably.
Yeah, because it just makes a lot of stuff a little simpler. I have not had the opportunity to even play with any of the new plugins that we picked up or build anything with Gravity Wiz. Because I have been playing major. I don't say major, but I've been playing catch up. I don't know if I talked about this on the show before, and people know I try not to mention names of people, because it's rude, I feel like. But an individual that was working for me, wasn't using their eyes as well as they should have. I'll say it that way. I think I did talk about this on the show a bit, where I was ending up with stuff going in the machine that either had, at the time it went in, had a shorter date than I was told, which would have affected where I would have put said product. Or in some cases, I know for certain this stuff was out of date when it got put in the machine. And there's 2 problems with that. Well, the main problem, obviously, is you can't sell stuff that's out of date, right? So people look at the date, they're not going to buy that stuff. So like, that's money I didn't make. But the other problem is some of the stuff that was out of date, I'm like, that shouldn't have been out of date. Like, how you can remember vaguely, right? I wouldn't, bet $1,000 to like, I'm absolutely 100% right that this product should have been in date, because I know when I picked it up. But generally, like, about a thing, like, I'm pretty sure that shouldn't have been out of date. So now I'm questioning, like, okay, were you pulling like a little sleight of hand where there was some out of date stuff over here that we pulled, and you moved that and then took my good product somewhere else, right? Yeah. And I have to very quickly move off of that line of thought and try to focus my attentions elsewhere, because that does not get to a good place. So I've been doing a lot of catch up, a lot of cleanup, as we've been going on and on, and man, like I need a break. Like I seriously need a break. I've also been transitioning a lot of places that I had on bottle drinks back over to cans. So that's been taking up it takes up more time because basically if you go to a machine and it's not empty, you got to pull out what's there. You got to reconfigure the machine physically a little bit so that you can get 4 cans in a slot. You got to do some reprogramming of the machine. So all of that's taking a little bit longer as I've been moving around too. But, and the reason for that is despite the fact that I hate cans and like, you know, everybody always ends up sliding my cans off, in the van. But one reason is in some places, like I've noticed, especially over the past couple of months, that like, I don't know if people are just getting tighter with their money or they have less money or it's just the time of year and they're putting their money elsewhere, but sales on bottles in some locations have been down. Right. So I'm ending up throwing away sodas that go out of date because they sit there long enough and don't get bought and then they're out of date and then I got to throw them away and I can't keep throwing away product. Right. So I see that you're not buying a thing. Let me try this. Cans for people's awareness, tend to have like stupid long days. And I say stupid long days compared to bottles. So like, you know, I bought a case of, I put some Cokes out yesterday, that probably don't go out to like March or April or something.
Oh, okay.
But they're also
still
cheap.
Go buy the cans.
Huh?
I said, still go buy the cans.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, it's just, I don't, you know, if there's a slow period or something, like I ain't got to worry about like, oh man, I just, you know, spent this amount of money for this freaking Mountain Dew and then you ain't even buy all the Mountain Dew and like, look, man, Pepsi's high. So
yeah.
But no, buy the cans. But they are cheaper. I did ask one lady that works at a location, that's, you know, been pretty friendly and helpful as far as giving me information, letting me know when stuff is wrong over there, different things like that. So I don't end up missing money because, oh, the machine's jammed up or the machine's not taking money or the card reader's out of order or whatever the case is. Like, she'll let me know that sort of stuff. So I actually like, what do you think about me moving you guys over to cans? Like, you know, she said, and I said, one advantage of that is it would be cheaper. She's like, well, that would definitely help because, it's getting kind of tough. I was like, all right. So that's been a thing going on. The other thing is, I guess, because I've been doing a lot of just steady work, like I'm hurting super bad. That pain blocker shot, I told you I got the pain blocker shot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it didn't help. It didn't help at all. Not in any sort of meaningful way whatsoever. But we endure and we keep moving. Needless to say, I'm looking forward to not next week, but the week after that, because several places will be closed for several days, if not the whole week of Christmas, which means I don't have to worry about going to those places. So the week of Christmas, all I anticipate having to deal with is the post office and the rest area. And that'll probably mostly be it. Probably the HVAC
a lighter
place.
week.
Much lighter week, which means I can actually get back to doing some stuff like finishing up with some development stuff, putting my level lock on, because still hadn't gotten around to doing that yet. I didn't realize that the level lock actually was a full deadbolt system either. Yeah, I thought it was like it replaced so you had the August lock, which I think was like this. The Akara U200 is also like this, where it just replaces that inside part of your deadbolt, which you keep your regular deadbolt on the outside door.
I gotcha.
So I thought what do they call those? Retrofit locks, I think.
Yep.
So I thought that's what the level lock was. So I had gone out and bought a whole nother, you know, in that order, I also ordered another deadbolt that matched the one that I have on the garage door. Thinking I was going to, I was like, oh, well, I'll buy the same brand because then I can just take it to the locksmith and get it keyed. So I'll just have one key.
Yeah.
And I actually went and took the deadbolt to the locksmith and got it keyed. The same key. And then I opened the level lock box and was like, oh, I didn't need this. And I've also done a thing. Okay, let me go and research. Can I get the level lock rekeyed or can I swap out it's cool. Turns out the Schlage, which is the type of lock deadbolt I had already bought, is who makes the actual lock part. Like there is a Schlage. So I just took it down. I think I finally got by there yesterday, to to get that rekeyed. So still got the same key.
There you go.
And eventually I'll get it put on.
I was going to say, you'll get it on eventually. And then does your door frame match I guess it's more of a circle instead of an oval for the inlet for the bolt itself?
So I need to go look at that, and I actually need to pull that part out and just go see if it'll go in. Mine is not circular. It's more of a ovally, like squared off or rounded off rectangle type
at
shape.
The top and bottom.
Yeah. But it may be wide enough that it'll fit. I got to go see.
And if it's not, there's directions on Level's website for what you need to do to make that work.
Chisel?
I just don't remember them. Yep. Pretty sure it was a chisel.
So it involves some chiseling. I should go check that. I'm glad you reminded me of that too. So actually,
I was just thinking, because there's nothing worse than having your whole door pulled apart, getting ready to put it back on,
and then you realize it doesn't fit.
Oh man, I should have looked that up first.
Yep, that's exactly it. And I'm gonna put this in Todoist.
Let's talk about Todoist. Are you using? Obviously, you're using it. I'm back in the Todoist world. I've almost got a month straight. And we were going to talk about this on one of the shows recently, but neither of us remembered. And that was when I made a comment to you that I'm at I think when I said this, it was 11 days, but I think 23 or 24 day streak. And you asked how many tasks I had to get done to count for a streak. And I said 1. And I don't remember the discussion from there, but we mentioned talking about it on the show.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yep. So that discussion led me to set my completion task to 1. And the reason is not because, and when you said it, like I didn't take it this way, but I'm saying this for listener benefit. It's not cheating in my mind, because what I thought of when you said it was like, oh, that's at least a way to guarantee that you do something, right? You get 1 task checked. Now you're more likely going to do more than that on some days.
Yep.
There have been days where I have checked off a couple
12.
Yeah, like there's been days like that. There's also been days my streak has been broken, not because I didn't do a thing, but because I forgot to go in and check off that I did the thing. So that's something that I have to work on remembering. But I also need to take a look at the instructions for Ramble, like what are some of the things to say or how to phrase certain things to have things happen. Because sometimes I haven't checked off something because I didn't get a notification about it. Like I did it, I just didn't get the notification, so I didn't remember to go check it off. But starting with 1 lowers the barrier of, hey, I just got to check off this one thing, right? And, legitimately, we're doing more than just that one thing. Even if it's not, it just may not all be in Todoist. But you're getting that one thing done, which helps build that streak. And then once you got the streak going, you bump it up once you know you can bump it up. But because we're both trying to get back into it, if I start off with like 10 things, well, sometimes I don't have 10 things in Todoist to check off for one thing. Because I did the same thing you did, which is erased, like basically deleted everything and started from scratch. There were a few tasks that I left in my inbox. And again, they weren't things to actually be done. It's more of like, oh, when I look in there, it's like, oh yeah, I do need to check out that, AI model, local AI model, or I do need to check out, look into ways of building on business credit or stuff like that, right? So, but there are links out to specific things that I need to go look at, and I haven't saved them anywhere else, so I just left them there. But yeah, it's for me, it's been going pretty well. I need to do some, like I said, some educating of myself with what and how to say certain things with Ramble so that it becomes a little bit more useful. Because right now everything is going to my inbox, and I do have a couple of small projects. Well, no, I have one project outside of the inbox. But initially I didn't have that project. I thought Ramble would create a project if I said add to project spirals, and it would create the project. Well, no, it didn't. It just decided, oh, well, it needs to go to a project, but that project, she said, doesn't exist. So I'm just going to put it on the AT Guys project.
In the inbox.
Nope. Put it on the AT Guys project, which I realized when it popped up in Slack, and I was like, no. We already have a Stripe account.
It is context aware, maybe. I'm not sure. I have told it to set up a project or set up a task and add it to my ACB project, and I think it does add it to that. So play with that, or just go read the documentation, like you said, because that'll tell you for sure what
But see, the
works and what
project
doesn't.
didn't exist at the time that I said this,
Gotcha.
right? So I'm assuming you had an ACB project, but I didn't. That project didn't exist. I just like, oh well, this is working pretty well. It should be able to create a project for me too. And it's like, nope, that didn't.
But it is beta, so we can give them feedback about that. But yes, I did have an ACB project that Ramble could put something in, so that might be your answer.
Yeah. So I do have the project created now, so things go there that are related. But yeah, I've been playing around with it. Man, this is the thing. So I didn't come back and tell you about this because we're supposed to talk about it on the show. So the natural language to create a filter is awesome.
Oh, yeah? You mentioned this partially to me, and I think I said save it for the show. So what have you done?
So essentially, the filters in Todoist are, ways you can go in and say, show me only tasks that are priority 4 or priority 1, for example. Just show me the priority 1 tasks that are due in 30 days. And you can get very, very complex filters built, but it takes time, right? You're doing a lot of swiping and tapping and yada, yada. The natural language is, it's kind of like talking to Ramble, right? You just tell it, I only want to see the tasks that are past due, that are more than 30 days old, not in my inbox. And boom, there's your filter.
Oh, and then it saves it to the filters tab, or is it in that menu? Because I've never used filters in Todoist.
So the way it's structured now, I think because my filters, I don't have the filters tab at the bottom. What do I have at the bottom? I have inbox today.
Upcoming.
Huh?
Upcoming.
I think upcoming is there, and then browse.
And
right?
then
browse I can get to. I think I can get the filter from browse because it shows my projects and all of that. I'm probably going to rearrange that at some point. That's just the way it is now. But yeah, you can get to that filter very quickly. You could, I think, pin that filter actually to your taskbar. Your bottom bar down there if you wanted to.
You can pick where you open the app to as well. So I bet you can probably open the app to a filter too.
Yeah, I would imagine. Because your inbox or today or upcoming is just a filter.
Or just filters.
It's just built-in filters.
So any of the projects, all it is filters.
Yeah. So super nice. Like
that's what Todoist
super nice. And that is a good use of AI, I think, in that instance, because I can much easier and much more quickly, dictate basically a filter that I want to exist and have it, created versus me trying to figure out like, wait, how do I go back there? Now I got to scroll through this calendar thing to do this, or I don't want to do all that.
Yeah, Gravity Forms, give me that. So I can just drop to your AI what it is I want you to build, and you can build it for me. Just saying. Come on, Gravity Forms. Don't.
I told you what to try is, and I actually hadn't tried this recently, but try and see if it will, if you can get, Claude or Gemini or ChatGPT or whatever, you're using, at that time to write the JSON for the type of form you want to build, and then just import it and see if it works.
So it's almost faster than that. The only problem that I have, and maybe you know the answer to this, is with some Python scripts and ChatGPT and CSV, I'm exporting data from my builder tool and importing it into a gravity form and using the gravity form as a database. For example, all of the Zoom rooms are stored as a table in community or in the builder. Mm-hmm. And so I have all of the Zoom rooms, including the account, the name, the Zoom link, etc., as a as a CSV file. And I took that CSV file and I imported it into Gravity Forms, and it built out the form for me automatically, which had the columns that I needed in preparation for building out the different views that I'm working on and setting up some of the extra PHP coding to ensure that accounts aren't double booked based on the criteria that we have. So that's how I'm getting it to build them quickly. The only problem that I'm running into is it imports all data, at least from what I've observed, as text fields instead of like options in a drop down.
Yeah.
Like if I have I want any different option in this column to be a separate drop down choice. So I have not asked ChatGPT how to solve that, but
yeah, I have. I'm trying to think if I have actually run into that at all.
But you get what I'm saying, right? Like each row has.
Yeah, like when you import it, like it does a great. Wait a minute. I believe there's a way to fix this. Because when you do your import, you're able to. And I'm not going to remember all the details because I'm a little blurred. Yeah, you're able to map, but I also think you can change the field type there. Or at least I seem to vaguely remember this. But I don't remember all the details.
Well, you know what? That's something I've learned with AI is we don't have to remember all the details. We just have to know what questions to ask. And then they'll point you in the direction that will help you solve that problem in a lot of cases. They also might frustrate you because they point you in a direction where you think it's going to help you solve the problem. And then you get halfway down the rabbit hole and you're like, it didn't understand my question.
Also, I believe you have to log in. Really hate having to reach around like that to touch the Touch ID button. You have to log in. You could just ask Gravity Kit support.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Because it's one of those esoteric things where like it may not be obvious how to fix it if what I am vaguely remembering is not exactly how you get there. I know I've done this. But if or at least I'm pretty sure I've done this. I don't know, man. What is time? Was this before COVID or after COVID? I can't remember. I think this may have actually been before COVID. I don't know. But anyway, it could be one of those things where like you don't know the answer to that question until you actually were like, oh yeah, you need to do this, but then you also have to put this code in somewhere, right? It's that sort of thing. Like it may really not know the answer because it's not just on the internet.
But you know what? That's faster than hammering away at a tool that thinks it knows the answer but still can't say no.
Shoot the email off to support and still ask the chatbot, yeah, and see what it comes up with. And if it gives you an answer that works, then hey, you're good. And if it doesn't, well, you got an email that's coming back sometime in the next couple of days.
Yeah, good call. Good call. So that's my project. I have big dreams for Builder in the cloud. Big careful dreams. Because
man, listen, like that can tell. Wait, why can't I delete the draft?
Oh my God. So I keep smacking this cable on my microphone. Let's try moving it over there and see if that stops it. Did you tell me this in the past? If you open mail, you told me you didn't interact with mail, I think, right? You just down arrow?
Yeah.
Okay. So someone told me that they open mail and they just start typing my name and it takes them to the most recent message that I sent them. Were you aware of that?
Oh, yeah, it does work.
Yeah.
I just did it.
Yep. I tried it too before I brought it up because it's one of those someone told me and I'm like, wait, I still use the find because usually I'm trying to find a message from someone.
Yeah, that's cool though.
It is. So. And if you down arrow past the person's email and you type their name again, it takes you to the next instance.
Yep. There's the last message I got from Robert. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I just learned something today. Excellent. Shout out to whoever that person was, and hopefully they're a listener.
I think it was listener. I don't remember, actually. I don't even know if he listens to the show, if it's who I think it was. So no name mentioning. But I told you I wanted to bring up Alphonic because we had another listener reach out and ask me how I was liking Alphonic. So I told him that I'm still liking it. They're still getting money from me, even though I'm not producing anything near what I have in the past. And he mentioned to me that their filler word tool has gotten a lot better because I hadn't used the filler word tool because it would cut off. Like if you were saying, what day is it? It would cut off the beginning of W or the beginning of what because that was so close. So I'm not sure if it uses
so it wasn't
AI
zooming
to say,
in
hey,
far enough. Huh? So you
yeah,
just need to zoom in a little further. You can clip that and leave the whole
or use
W.
AI to analyze and say, maybe I should just keep that there.
Yeah,
Make it sound more natural.
That's also a better thing to do. Sometimes, like, you know what? It's gonna take me longer to fix that than it is to just leave that alone. Like, I can get done editing in the amount of time it'll take me to fix that.
So I told him I'd play with their filler word cut tool and then listen to the show. So if this episode sounds horrible, it's all in the experiment of.
Hold on. Wait. I'm not sure I like this idea.
No, we should actually put together a specific type of audio, like a pre-recorded audio, and try it out.
Yeah, we should do that.
Throw some ums in there. No, what I will do is I will publish the regularly edited one that we run through Alphonic so you won't notice a difference. But I'll also edit the production after we're done and remove the filler words and then post on Mastodon how much shorter it is.
Okay. That seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Hey, man, the bot's been posting.
The bot reposted me.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, it's working on its own. Have you read Harper's latest blog post? It came out this month, not September.
No, I have not.
Oh, you should. It's a good one. Talking about how he's using Claude to triage his email, but most importantly, he learned very quickly not to allow Claude to just reply to emails. If it replies to emails, it needs to save them as drafts because it committed him to something that he had initially said he did not want to do. So there was some frustration from the people because they got super excited when the bot came back and said, "Oh, I'll do that. I'll be happy to do this for you guys." They're like, "Yeah, we appreciate it." And then he wrote him an email and told him, "Sorry, I can't do this for you guys," or something. And they were understandably a little frustrated. But his biggest piece of feedback was, if you try this out or you go through and set this up, make sure it saves your emails as drafts and don't give it autonomous connection with other people outside yourself.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have done that in the first place.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. What's wrong with you? Never let listen, I could have somebody that worked for me as a personal assistant for 10 years and I'm not sure I just give you carte blanche to just reply to an email on my behalf. Unless you know the answer is going to be no. Like, if it's a no, then
just tell them no, so I don't have to. So it's done.
Just say no.
They're not waiting around for an answer.
Yeah, like, nah, it's rare. It would be rare for me to put to allow an individual to make those sort of responses or decisions on my behalf. So I really ain't about to let an LLM do it. Yeah. But I'm notoriously
paranoid. An LLM could be my same box maybe for...
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking about is like, the triaging of the email, though, like that could be a thing. I think my basic route, and I have not connected anything to anything, so I don't know how it works, but I'm going to probably try it out. JJ's done it with ChatGPT. I have not done it with any of these services. But
he connected ChatGPT?
Yeah, he connected ChatGPT to his email. But what I think I would want to be able to control is, like, number one, you can't delete any emails. You can archive or move emails to different places, but you cannot delete them.
No delete.
You cannot reply to any email, and you cannot create and send any emails. There will be no email sending and no email deletion.
Yeah. What about create and draft?
I don't even think I would let it do that first. Probably got to give it a little time and see how that goes.
Yeah. See, what I like about Copilot in Outlook is I open the email and then I initiate the chat session with it. And so I'm in a chat session. You hit Alt-I, and then you type in your prompt, or you can let it read the whole message, probably a second up the whole message if you don't tell it to anyways. And then you hit generate. It reads to me what it is, and I can either keep it or discard what it offers me. So it works how I'd like to see Apple's work, but Apple's is, well, let me rephrase that. Have you looked at VoiceOver on the Mac to see if there's any way of interacting? Because I have not. And I just thought about this as I was complaining about it.
Any way of interacting with the
writing tools?
Yeah, I've used them.
Oh, you do?
Well, no, I have used them. I don't constantly use them, but I did use them to reply to an email a couple of months back, actually. Somebody wrote something that was misinformed, it was passive aggressive, and it annoyed the hell out of me.
Okay.
But I needed to address the email fairly quickly, so I couldn't do the thing where I go away for 24 hours and come back, because frankly, number one, I probably would have forgot about it. And two, it needed to be dealt with like then before it got out of hand. So I wrote my response, and I carefully wrote my response. So I didn't curse. I didn't, I just kind of made the point of like, I'm not sure who told you or how you arrived at the conclusions that you have about my opinions about such things when we've never had a conversation, etc. So on and thus forth. But then I highlighted it, and I forget how I brought the tools up now, but I used the writing tool to make it more professional. And I tweaked that a little bit more, like changed a couple of words and took out some stuff that was unnecessary. But it made what was obviously you pissed me off email sound more professional than even my very carefully pissed off way of writing conveyed the message. Something Mike, I don't think knows about me, because Mike doesn't. I don't think I've ever talked to Mike when I was like super like pissed, because I tend not to want to call Mike and rant. I do call him rant, but not when I'm like, well, Mike's also a different person. So if I called Mike and I was super pissed, I would just have a rant. But when I'm in situations where I can't curse people out, or it's not in my best interest to curse people out or respond in the way that I would like to respond, I become overly polite. My grammar gets very, very correct, and I become overly polite to people. And there's a handful of people in my life that know when I sound like that, they should probably get me away from there, because all that person has to do at that point is like, do one more thing of what you've done to annoy me. And well, I should just leave is what I should do at that point. It's
yes.
But yeah, I have used the writing tools. I've played around with them, I think, a couple of times in messages also, just to do stuff, but it's, I wouldn't say that they're spectacular at the time that I actually hadn't used them in a couple of months now. I think this might have even been before 26 was officially released, that I played with this. Although I think the email incident was after 26 was released, but I still was on beta. Although I wasn't on beta on the Mac, so it was shortly after I updated on the Mac is when that happened with the email. I know for sure, because I did write the email on the Mac, because I don't write emails on my phone. Unless it's like, thanks, or I got it, or that works. And then we're out of here, because I don't have time for all that. Even with the braille screen input. I have written back some emails I need to respond to with braille screen input, but they're still rather short compared to what I might type on the computer.
I think I need to go through and set something random to a keystroke and see what it does.
Set something random to a keystroke?
Like there's like 4 different places in the command section in VoiceOver to move down, or something here is like move item to bottom left section, move item to bottom right section.
Oh, I can tell you what that does.
What do all of these do? Move things?
That moves your window.
Okay.
So let's say, so right now I'm so if you're in a window and there's actually shortcuts already in the system for these, I just don't remember what they are. Give me a second.
Well, there's something separate down here called start moving window.
All right. So if you hit VO tilde, that puts you in the start moving window thing. And then
okay.
The number one will move it to the top left section. Top center is 2. You can guess what 3 does.
Yeah.
4 is middle left section. So that's 4 through 6 goes middle left right. 7 bottom left. And then there is I can't remember how to bring it up. Oh, so if you just if you just hold, well, actually you don't have to hold VO. Just pressing your arrow keys will just move it and it'll give you coordinates of where you've moved it to, but that's moving it kind of like in small increments. But yeah, that's what that does. So yeah, let's say, for example, you're trying to drag and drop something. This is a lot of times for people why sometimes drag and drop doesn't work. I will generally pop the app that I'm dragging from to the top left corner and pop the app that I'm dragging to the bottom right corner, or the window that I'm dragging to the bottom right corner, and then do my drag and drop operation. And I get that to be successful more times than not. But also visually, if you want to impress somebody that can see, you're like, well, yeah, I put this window over here, or you really want to just freak somebody out, like open a bunch of apps like you have open, go to all their windows and like just make like this little weird grid of apps just all over the screen.
Huh. Okay. When I've gotten into this menu, tapped escape. I've never even looked at it or tried to figure out what it does.
Yeah. So
you can move apps to the left and right halves of the section. Now, how do you navigate to these sections?
I mean, you're still going to just use Command Tab to switch back and forth, like, so it doesn't really make.
So there's not like a keystroke to jump you to the top half section.
No,
which jumps you right to that specific app is what I was thinking.
No, I don't think so. I've never seen that. Yeah,
that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, so it would be cool, actually. Now, I'm sitting there thinking, like, have I ever come across such a thing? But I don't think so. But I also haven't looked is where I'm arriving at, too. Is like I haven't investigated it that far. I was like, oh, this is how I can make sure. Because occasionally, I don't know how much you have used drag and drop, but for anybody that has used it enough, you're going to encounter a scenario where you're using the voiceover drag and drop, where it's like the VO comma to select the thing, and then you're going to go drop it somewhere else, and you get the drug item or selected item is no longer in view or something like that because you switched to a window.
Draggable.
Yeah. So because you switched to a window that has now covered up the window that had the thing in it that you started dragging.
Oh.
So that's why I will move the drag from to the top left and the drag to the bottom right. At that point, there should be no overlap. At least in my mind. I don't, but it works most of the time that way. The only other reason that I could, but for like switching between apps, you're still just doing Command Tab. So it really doesn't matter. Like you didn't care where your windows were before now. Like it doesn't matter unless you're trying to do something like that, or visually your screen needs to look a certain way, or you're showing something that somebody cited. So you want to put 2 apps side by side so that they can more easily do the comparison. Hey, that could be a way. Guess it depends on how much of the screen they can actually see. Like, if you're doing an IRA thing or something. It's like, oh, connect to my computer. I need you to look at this web page and then tell me what to fix. And then I got the editor up in the window next to it, side by side, so that I can fix it. And they can tell me right then if it fixed it. Instead of me doing Command Tab back and forth.
Huh.
See, Mike just made me think of a different way to use this that I've never thought of before.
The Mac's pretty damn powerful, just saying. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, so Windows people, get in touch. Feedback at technicallyworking.show if you can do a similar thing with your JAWS or your NVDA or something. Because, we could do that.
I'll tell you an app that's about to get kicked off my Mac. Freaking Raycast. I haven't used that app in forever, and it keeps popping up, wanting me to buy it. You didn't give me enough value for me to use you, and now you want me to buy you?
Yeah, I've been getting rid of apps pretty aggressively on the phone as well. Like I've been just like I'll come across it. Here's a tip. Well, if you do your updates on the phone the way that I do mine, because I don't let anything automatically update. Whoops. I don't let anything automatically update. So I go in when I remember and, well, actually I just triple tap on the App Store icon and then I go in that little menu that comes up to updates and I'll pull down once the screen loads. I'll pull down with 3 fingers to refresh it so it'll grab all the updates. I don't painstakingly go through and read everybody's release notes, but I will go through the list before I hit update all just to see what is there. And one reason I started doing this is because, and it's also a reason I do it so rarely, is because I'm also looking for stuff that I've forgotten that was on my phone that I should probably delete.
That you should probably what?
That I should probably delete. It's like, oh, I tried this app, didn't use it, didn't go delete it there. Yeah. But I see it has an update. Nope, I don't need to update you. I just need to delete you. Swipe down with 1 finger on the app and you'll get the option to delete and you can delete it from right there. In the update window.
Huh. That probably works if you go back to your order history and then you can go through and look at what apps you've downloaded that might still be on your device that you haven't opened since you downloaded.
No, man, I don't know. They have changed the order window now. It does not look anything the way it used to be, and I cannot select a filter, which would be some feedback for me to send to Apple.
So you have to go through and delete them from the update or delete them from your phone directly. But what really is inconvenient from what I've observed, and maybe you found a way, is last time I tried it, I could not search for an app and then delete it from the search screen.
Yeah, feels like you used to be able to drag and drop from right there too.
So
try doing it in the app library though. Like go to the app library and then search for it there. Because I did drag it. Actually, that's how I put BMI. Nope.
BMI eyes. BME.
Yeah, BMI. BME. Be my eyes on to my home screen.
So you search for it in the app library.
Yeah, and then I was able to use the actions on the rotor to, drag it and then bring it over to where I wanted on the home screen and drop it. So I would imagine deleting should work the same way from there.
Kids, you guys don't know how good you have it nowadays.
Okay, yeah, you got to cut that part out because I think it just works because it's in the beta because it's not showing up in the App Store. Yeah, drag and drop has gotten to be really amazing. The only place that is not as reliable, or I can't even get it to work right now, is in Todoist.
Oh, okay. I haven't tried that. It has worked in Todoist for me in the past.
Okay. Yeah. It has worked before. It just does not work now. Because it does, if you use the actions to go to drag, and you double tap, then it stops saying anything, it doesn't, you can't navigate, you can't explore by touch, do anything, it doesn't. So, yeah. And if you try to double tap and hold and move stuff, it doesn't quite work the way it used to either. So yeah, they slightly broken that. Now there are some very weird places that you have drag as an option, and I don't quite understand why. I don't know what I'm going to do by dragging an email message.
Yeah, because I don't think if you drop it into files, for example, it'll save it in there. But I also have never tried that.
Yeah, I just actually thought about maybe trying to drag it out to another app at this point. I was just thinking about being inside the app, messages. What am I going to do if I drag this message? Can I drag this message onto that message? And then no, because it's not going to work. So I don't understand.
Did you know that VO Shift Escape will stop interacting with everything?
No.
Takes you to, only reason I know that is I had VO Lock on and I tried hitting Shift Escape on ChatGPT to jump to the edit box and it stopped interacting with everything. And I
just popped me all the way out of there. I just went 3 levels deep all the way down to the text mode. I'm it just popped me out.
So there's another hopefully helpful keystroke.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that one was there. What are your thoughts? Well, first off, I got two questions. They're both about the phone. So one, how are you feeling now, several months in? Like, does it just feel natural, or is it still weird stuff, or just frustrations at times with the phone app, with the new layout? Or did you go back to the old layout?
So my phone is in the old layout, but I don't consciously remember switching that.
Huh.
And I don't know if maybe Ben did it when he was doing something on my phone, because every once in a while, I'll ask him to order something on DoorDash or something, and he'll see that I've got 500 notifications on phone. So he'll go in and like clear stuff out there for me, because I'm horrible about that. So he may have switched the layout, or I did it and just don't remember it, or I was testing something, because that happens. And the only reason I know that is I went into the phone today and I was looking for a voicemail, and I'm like, oh, I should switch to the old layout so I can quickly get to voicemails. And I tapped in the bottom right-hand corner and I was in voicemail. Now, there could be a third solution. Apple could be reading my mind and just changing the view layout of the phone app while I open it to give me the layout that I want. Probably not likely.
That's probably not.
But yeah, I like it for the most part. There's still things that I'm like, how do I get to just my voicemail for the one or two times that I want to go through voicemail? And I wish the transcripts of voicemail was more reliable and consistent, because I feel like there's some times where I don't even have to hit play on the voicemail to read the transcript. And then other times you have to hit play, and sometimes it'll show a transcript. Other times it won't at all.
Yeah. So overall, I think I'm liking it. There are some oddities that baffle me still. Number one, if you're in the new view, because I switched to the classic view for a little while. This was still summertime beta though, and like it was broken. So I switched to the classic view, but I did go back to the new unified view. Now, if you tap on the filter button up there, you have an option to go straight to voicemails, like just go to just voicemails. So you're not looking at calls and voicemails mixed together. Everything in that list would be voicemails within the new view. So you don't have to switch back to the old view. One issue I have there is if you need to delete a bunch of voicemails, there's not the delete all that used to be in the phone app. Like, I don't know when they may have taken this away, but like it's not there anymore. And if you go into edit mode so you can multi-select voicemails, there's still not like a select all or option there. So like it's slightly annoying when you have to delete a bunch of voicemails. And I had a lot of voicemails, because I have silence unknown callers. Just no, I don't, because all I'm getting is a bunch of 800 numbers most of the time. That are telling me how much money they're going to loan me. Like, and now I'm starting to feel like I should start answering these calls, because, one place is like, oh, well, you've been approved for $40,000. Like, man, I just got a call last week that said I was approved for up to $70,000. So like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, listen, like, can you give me $100,000? Cause they're offering 70 over there at this number. So,
or maybe all they want is your information.
Yeah, that's
you're going to get no grand.
Yeah, there's no grand. Like, they may want to try to take me for 40 grand is what they're trying to do. But yeah, so I like, it's just too much. Like, to the point that I have, despite the sometimes complications that can cause, I rather just, if you're not on my phone as a contact, or I have not marked your number as known, because you can do that too. So, for example, somebody called and I had to go in and go to the unknown callers and mark that number as known. So at least then it could ring. Like, I didn't need to save it in my contacts. I just needed to, next time they called for it, to be able to ring my phone.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Okay.
Yeah, it's all up under that filter, but there's a lot of stuff under that filter button. The same when you tap the switch to from classic to unified mode, or whatever the old mode is called. Like, there's unknown callers there's voicemails there's spam callers, things that your phone has identified as spam, which I still don't understand why they're not identifying these random people that want to give me all this money as spam. Like, they're just spam. Like, geez, Somebody get this right. But in general, I like it. The things that baffle me is and I've noticed this weirdly. Sometimes it happens just in the default list of calls, where you got your calls and voicemails all kind of merged. And you tap on the thing because you want to look at more info, or you want to play the voicemail or something, and it just calls the number. You're like, wait, but that's not how it works. And no, I do not have that option turned on. Because sometimes I just want to go look at what the person said or save their number because it's like, oh, I know who that is now. Let me save their number because I answered the call. And you end up calling the person. It's like, no, that's not what I want to do. This also happens when I tap that bottom right tab that is now search in the unified view. And you search for a person because it's like, oh, I need to call this person back. The thing comes up and it's like, or you're looking for info on somebody, right? Like, oh, what's this person's email address? Or I need to call their mobile number, not their work number, whatever. But you're trying to look at contact details. You tap on it and oh, nope, just calls. It's like, but I don't have this option turned on. Like, why are you doing this? I know in the summer, I'm like, they should bring that back or at least give you an option. And I'm glad that they give you an option because some people, when they double tap, that's all they wanted to do is do the thing. But I turned that off. Maybe I should turn it on and then always have to flick. And then maybe it won't accidentally call people when I don't want to call people. But I think in general, I kind of like the layout though. I do wish that the spam filtering was better. I'm also almost hesitant to say this, but if anybody has experience with a really good filtering app that is in the App Store, like I may be willing at this point to take a look at it. Although it annoys me to no end that I have to consider paying for something to stop spam calls from coming in when the FCC, which I pay taxes, which helps fund the FCC, is supposed to be taking care of that shit. But we won't get on that rant because we have been recording for at least an hour and 18 minutes. So with that being said, I don't think I had anything else. Oh, I did have one more question about the phone because I had two questions about the phone. Have you opened the phone app on the Mac at all?
Yes, I did once.
Okay.
Then I closed it. And I'm like, this is as bad as FaceTime was.
Okay.
One of the frustrating parts is I did try to make a phone call. And I'm like, oh, this will be so much faster. Nope. Can't use the number row or number pad to enter numbers. And if you press VO space, at least in the instance that I had, the DTMFs were not passing through. So the IVR did not know that I was pushing buttons. However, I've been having some weird Mac issues. All good sentences start that way. I can turn, so I've switched voices. It's not related to the voice, but I can go to volume, for example, and I can turn my volume up and down all day long, and it stays at exactly the same volume level. So, I think you and I talked about this last time.
Yeah.
And I just remembered something that you told me to check, but I'm pretty sure it's not. But I think you see, that's another bug, Apple. If you set your volume to like 25%, I shouldn't have to hit escape to command tab to close the volume menu. But I'm going to go look at sound source to see if VoiceOver is being controlled by sound source. I don't think it is. I just quit sound. No, so sound source is not controlling VoiceOver at all.
Okay. No, I should go check loopback. Make sure you have a loopback device that was pulling, that was like you're feeding VoiceOver through a loopback device that is keeping your volume boosted.
My system default is the VoiceOver, but I wonder. Nope, that didn't do it. No, command tab should not take me to 100%, Apple. Every time. You always get me. And then there's times like that where I'm like, I'm so glad that my volume isn't adjusting. Because I think it's stuck at like 20% or something. Loop back. Oh, these devices, I guess I only have 3 right now. That's not bad. Clubhouse and audio apps and mic, club deck, okay. No, VoiceOver is not being captured by any of my virtual devices.
Okay. That was the only other thing I could think of. Is that you may have been getting VoiceOver fed through like a pass-through device versus. So VoiceOver's output is set to the mixer.
Now I just set it to the Vocaster. It was set to system default, which frankly, I don't know where my system default is, right? Because it changes. As long as audio is going and coming where it should be, for the most part, it's working well. But I'll figure it out, or I'll reset voiceover settings after I back them up, because we've already talked about that. I am curious what happens if I back them up, reset them, see if it works, re-import them, see if it still works. Because you and I both know that sometimes voiceover, well, maybe I'm hallucinating, but sometimes voiceover breaks itself in weird ways.
Yeah. That's why I said, back them up, because I was also curious about that too. Like if you backed them up, reset them, and then had to re-import them, like, because that should at least indicate, I would think, whether or not there is possibly a setting somewhere that's not that is contributing to the problem. But it could just be a weird voiceover thing too. Because now I don't have to press escape to make that little quick settings thing go away. And that was an issue for me for a while, where like I would change the volume or something, and then when I would let go of the VO command shift, I would have to actually tap escape to make the menu go away.
Mm-hmm. What am I looking for?
No, I haven't changed anything, but
all preferences, reset. Holy hold on. My volume's working now. So now I'm going to go and import preferences. Command Shift I, if you remember that. I'm going to go voiceover archive. Oh, I tried using my numpad to navigate. Importing preferences will completely replace your current preferences. Hit OK on that. And now, nope. So it's got to be something with my settings, because my volume is not working again. So that's annoying.
Yeah, I got a weird voiceover thing too, where like
if I reset basic preferences, because you can reset just your basic preferences. All right, so I reset basic. Hold on. I reset basic preferences, and to me that reset all the settings, I'm thinking, because my numpad doesn't work anymore either. So, which is fine. I'm going to go re-import my settings and fix it later, because that's how it works. I don't feel like which one do you want to deal with? Figure out why voiceover is super quiet and all your keystrokes are working, or do you want to go set up your keystrokes again and have voiceover volume adjustments? I'm like, I'll just turn them up on the slider for right now.
Yeah.
Mainly because I also want to play with some of these other actions in voiceover and see how I can, because while we were talking, I was playing with quick nav, single letter quick nav on the web, which is one of those things I always forget about. And then I use it. I'm like, this is actually a pretty good web.
And you can turn it on independent of having the regular quick nav on, which is cool now.
Yeah.
That used to not be a thing.
But how do you type? Like with JAWS,
you have to turn it off. That's the only way I know to do it, is to turn it off, because I had an issue where I had turned it on one day and I was somewhere else and I was trying to press keys to navigate, like just navigate like through the, like let's say I'm in Finder, right? And I'm trying to type, or launch bar, and I'm trying to type letters to bring up an app, and it's like, same item not found. Wait, what the hell is going on in here? Like, I'm confused. I was losing my mind. So I've been like, who's taking over my computer? I am baffled. And I remember I turned on the single key quick nav. I had a similar thing happen to me on the iPad too with the keyboard. I was like, I'm trying to type stuff in Spotlight to search, and like, form field not found. What? Wait, what? What are you doing? VOQ fixes the problem. But yeah, I don't think there's an equivalent forms mode deal for voiceover. So the only way that I've been able to type is turn off single key quick nav.
And Control Option Shift Q will toggle arrow key quick nav, but I would be more likely to just use.
Wait, what? Oh, I didn't know that.
Man, that's like 3 new keystrokes we've taught people. 3 or 4. And then I was going to say I'd rather just use left and right arrow key to turn on. I wonder if that would work. Yep. Left and right arrow key turns on all quick nav. So then you can just tap your letter H to jump through headings, or the numbers 1 through 6 to jump to headings 1, like the next heading level 1, or the previous heading level 1. What?
Because if I press the arrow keys, hold on, let me go to a web page.
I am in Safari.
Yeah, if I just, it just turns on arrow key quick nav for me, to left and right arrow keys.
Oh, huh. I wonder if I change something there then.
Yeah, I have to turn single key quick nav. Now I'm just pressing the left and right arrow keys. I'm not pressing like any modifiers with that.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll round out with one more little weird voiceover thing that I have gotten myself into, which is on the numpad, I have I changed one of the numpad keys. I forget what it used to do, but anyway, now it brings up the application chooser menu, which you also get to by pressing VOF1 twice. Except that since I added the shortcut to do it with this, or changed that key to do it with the in the numpad commander or numpad settings to add that key to do it, it doesn't work anymore with VOF1 quickly.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll tell me I have 8 running applications, but it doesn't bring up the little thing. Now, the window chooser still works for VOF2 quickly, but that also had a default setting on the numpad. Hold on, or does it? I may be wrong. Yeah, it does. So there. So yeah, very weird and very frustrating, because if I have to use my laptop as a laptop, without the external keyboard, I have no way to bring up the application switcher.
That's weird that it doesn't recognize. Now, let me ask you, have you gone back into keyboard commander and then chose listen for key and then tapped F1 quickly and see if that, or VOF1 F1 quickly to see if that reassigns it?
No, I haven't done that, but I will try that.
Move to grid, top left section. Okay, now if I go over here, no, it doesn't. Okay. All right.
Weird voiceover things to figure out.
Yep.
For the extraordinarily paranoid or super privacy focused individual that may really care about a thing, I'm just going to tell people about a thing that I saw. I'm not saying you should go do it, or I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. But Freely is a new mobile service that collects as little data from you as they possibly can, which means they don't even keep your address on file. And they're doing some weird thing that I need to, well, I'm not going to say weird. They're using some cryptographically sound way of not even being able to have your payment information, even though they're taking autopay, so that they can't even give that over to the authorities. I'm going to research this cryptographic thing and see what I can figure out about it. But it seems legitimate, and one of the people who worked on the actual encryption method, is a thing that already exists, and they just told the telephone service guy that he should use this, and that way you don't have to even have that information on file. That person is a known cryptographer to me, so he's probably known to other people. Well, I know he's known to other people, but anyway, super privacy focused phone service. They don't keep your information tied to you, so there's no way for them to hand over data on you or sell data on you.
Is it more expensive?
Their plans are slightly higher than what I'm paying.
Right. Yeah.
So just for reference, so $25 a month. That's including your taxes. $25 a month, you're getting unlimited talk and text, I think 2 gigs of data, and then you pay for any data over that 2 gigs of high speed at $20 per 5 gigabytes. Their highest plan is $85 a month, and you get unlimited talk and text and 40 gigs of data included. So significantly more than what I'm paying for a phone service. And could be or could not be a downside for people. They're using T-Mobile's network. So depends on how T-Mobile is in your area. It could be great, or it could suck.
Hey, guess what just got me?
What?
Single letter quick nap. I think it's time we wrap it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we want to thank everybody for listening. Yeah, we're going to get to the listener feedback. Here's what happened, just so you know, because I didn't forget about it. Well, I kind of forgot about it, but I didn't really talk to Mike at all this week because we were going to go over like the emails and like, okay, how do we want to address this? What do we want to say about that? But we didn't do that. And so therefore I didn't feel it was fair to just jump in and not even know if Mike had even looked at the emails or not. So we will get to the listener feedback. Callum, it would help if you reach out to us again. I guess I could have sent you an email, but I didn't think about it right now. And let us know, like, do you want us to actually have this discussion on the show, or do you want us to email and reply to your question?
Right.
But we want to thank everybody who listens. We appreciate it. Tell a friend about the show. That is a great way to help us out. If you're using Apple Podcasts or Pocket Casts or anything that lets you leave a rating, rate the show. That helps. And special thanks, to the people who support us financially, because we appreciate it. You can get in touch with us if you have feedback. You send that to feedback@technicallyworking.show. No, that's it. No, don't put the .com on it. See, no, now we're not going to get it because you put .com after the show. It's just .show. All right.
We don't own .show.com.
No, we do not own show.com.
Because that's what that would be.
Yeah, we do not own that. And I don't think they're selling access to it either. But Mastodon, you can also, get in touch with us over there. Michael is Payon, Payown, at dragonscave.space. I am Damasi, Damashe, at technically.social. And you should follow the bot, TW, at technically.social, because the bot's been posting stuff.
Bot's alive.
Yeah. And shout out to Michael Doyes, who recently followed the bot.
Yeah. And he does listen to the show, by the way.
Yeah, I kind of assume that's why he followed the bot. And I think he followed me too. Just kind of like, at least to me, like that was a slick indicator of like, I'm not going to send a text message to tell you about this, but I'm already in Mastodon, so I'm just going to follow you and how you know that I listen to your show. Because if I didn't listen to your show, I wouldn't even know about this bot.
Right.
Because I had not yet posted about the app yet.
Perspective AI.
No, perspective intelligence is what it says on my phone.
Yes, you are correct.
And also, the bot posted to the press release about it too, because I thought that was kind of cool. It's like, that's a whole press release thing. Like, I missed this.
So,
yeah.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We appreciate you.
Oh yeah, hashtag technically working. There we go. I knew there was a thing I was forgetting, and we appreciate it if you capitalized it. But thanks for listening. This has been episode 141 of Technically